got troubles, put them in the past, cause you're free at last, time to have a blast. You don't know, well, we're so glad that you asked. It's the FozCast.
Everything's just busting down.
I legit have no idea what the fuck happened. I just got a blue screen. It's like Windows is shutting down. So I left it. I'm like, what the fuck? We're back, I think. I don't even know what to do. It was a streamer tip. Fucking Christ.
Oh my gosh.
What is happening?
Yeah, streamers like ban me. I'll ban you from life.
Are we back?
Are we?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, I can see your
I think
chat.
we're back. I can see the thing.
I can't see the thing up here yet, but it usually.
No cameras. Big easy of trolling. Fuck off. Right, I think we're done with the trolling. Even the fucking PC decided to troll me there.
I know, right? The PC was like, not
the PC,
today, bitch.
Nope.
Everyone in chat was like, he took the money and ran. He's gone. I'm just that easy night's work for me. I'm off, bye.
Yep, bye. Best 30 minutes of my day.
Right. Finally, we will get to the freaking point. Did you guys start this as a hobby, and did you ever think you could follow a career path?
Did you want me to go first, Emma?
Go ahead.
I actually started this, honestly, as a way to clear my backlog.
I feel that.
That's the biggest joke, because I feel like I've only acquired more games.
Mm-hmm.
And not finished any. I feel. But yeah, I started this off as just like a way to just finish my games, because Xbox, I have so many games on Xbox that I've never even touched. Like, you know, just from having gold for the longest time, and, you know, they give you free games and all of that stuff. And I was just like, oh, I should probably, you know. And I remember this because I watched Duo, and I was like, dang, he kind of makes streaming look easy. Like, it's just hanging out, you know? And I remembered messaging Duo. I was like, hey, I'm thinking about streaming. Like, what do you think? Just, you know, like, from somebody who is a streamer, like, you know, what do you think? And he's like, do it. which is Duo's response to anybody asking if they should stream. Duo just goes, do it. So I ended up starting it, and I played, you know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Still haven't finished it. And you know, just I didn't think it would be something I enjoyed doing. And I didn't realize that I would get to be friends with so many people doing this, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. So I didn't set out for a career, and maybe it won't be a career, but I want to keep doing it.
Emma, what about you? Did you start as a hobby? Do you think you'll make it, like, would you like to try and make a career of it?
I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I started this literally because my brother, Rain, he told me about everyone that was streaming, and like, I've always sort of grown up with video games anyway. And people that I talk to in everyday life, none of them are into video games, none of them are into anything that I like. So it's like the only people that I can really talk to about video games are my brothers, or my brother, because he's about the only one that does actually play. So I just wanted like a community that I could actually talk to about games, get excited about different things with.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I found that on Twitch. But I don't know. I'd like to make it a career, mostly because I don't like people.
Which is
so-
weird considering when you're streaming, you're actually dealing with
People.
But it's not like people face to face. Like
Yeah.
I don't like people being in my vicinity. So
I feel
playing
that.
games with people,
Yeah.
playing games with people and like talking to people online, if it feels so different. But actually talking to people who have the same sort of interests as you, I think it's so good just for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel that. I feel that very much.
big mood.
big mood.
So to add on to that, that is very much the same as me. Like, I go to went to my job, any job I've ever had, whether it be the customers, my colleagues, you name it, I fucking hated every single one of them with a passion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I cannot
Yeah.
stand you. I'm not serving you. You're a dick. Like, fuck you.
You
know?
fucking suck.
Yeah. And then this is like a double-sided coin where Leah said you make friends on Twitch and stuff. And that is very much the same for me. Like a year in a bit more, I still have friends that I've been with since like day one. And sometimes we might not speak all the time, but then just like IRL friends that you've known since you were a kid, when you do eventually speak to each other again, it's like nothing changes, you know?
Exactly.
But there's like a double-sided coin of that where you do meet some people who you think are decent, and then they just turn out to be absolute shitbags.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've all met them.
Yeah.
And considering we're talking about mental health here, one thing I will say is that I used to have a really bad habit of focusing on people I disliked. I still do. I'll be the first to admit that. Like, I'm like, if I don't like you, fuck you. You're gonna know about it. Like, and it's so annoying to like see what they're doing and see what you're doing, and it's kind of toxic to compare yourself to those people.
Yeah.
Especially when you see someone who you think has like no talent or they don't work hard and they just get everything gifted to them like on a platter, and then you're just, that is what makes my like mental health when it comes to this stuff like go off the shit pan.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Leah, I know you wanted to talk about numbers, so I'm gonna like roll on to that from here. But when you see people like do like what you would consider big numbers, and you just feel like they don't deserve it, it's actually like kind of crippling. Like when you see them,
It hits, right? And when you're you're in their stream. I mean, you're lurking. I'm usually lurking because I'm usually like out in the discoveries and like looking at what Twitch is actually recommending me, and I'll see people that obviously I've never met, and so like I don't have any real attachments to them. Kind of watching them do what they do, which is fair, but getting so much for doing much, much less than I know my friends are doing, and there are times where and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, how are you doing so much better relatively than most of the people I know who are busting their butts to like innovate and create and be a content creator, and you're over here like not even talking to chat and like not even caring, and yet you get much more, and it's just it drives me crazy.
It just seems
sometimes.
wasted.
Yeah, like where I've had some of my friends, like, they'll change up what they do. You know, they'll try out something of this. They'll try out community games. They'll try out cooking or building something or you know, like arts or completely different from, you know, maybe IRL streaming, but they don't get the same reception that I feel that they deserve. And that's not just me being like, oh, they're my friends, you know, they deserve everything because they're my friends. I'm fairly critical with the streams that I watch or even lurk. So even if you're my friend and you're doing something that is completely not good,
Yeah. Not up to scratch or standard.
To put it
Yeah.
nicely.
I will most likely tell you.
Yeah, I'm very much the same.
like I'm your friend, but I'm not gonna lie to you because you're my friend, and I want you to succeed in this environment.
That's what I was just gonna say. You want to see your friends succeed. So
yeah, I want to see my friends succeed. That's completely trash, and you're just like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. You know, like I'm not gonna let you do yourself like that because I want to see you succeed. Do your best, you know. So if it drives me crazy when people are just like not reading chat, not even like interacting, not even doing anything, and they get like a lot more views, and I'm just like, man,
how?
So call me toxic here, but again, this might be a little twisted, but in terms of I think this probably is actually like a bad mental health problem. But when I see someone who I cannot stand, or like they've pissed me off in the past, when I see them absolutely fail, like dumpster fire fail, I love it.
I can already see where this is going.
I absolutely love it. Like, I'm like, I hope your numbers fucking go. You get cancelled. Like, fuck you. I know that's mad twisted, but you pissed me off. Like, I give people a lot of chances.
It's kind of, it's funny because I've had a couple of people tell me, like, you don't even stream that much, but you're pulling these numbers. And I'm like, but it's not about
quality, not quantity.
And it's for me, like, it's not even about my like, I don't really look at my numbers. It's great when I get like even 10 people to hang out in my stream. Like, I'm like fucking happy. But and anything more than that is a freaking bonus. But like, just having people talk and hang out in my stream and have a conversation, like, that honestly means more to me than having 100 people watch and only like 2 people chatting. You know, like, that means a lot more to me. And it's just, and I've had people are like, yeah, you're like, let's be honest. My stream before my most recent ones this past month have been very laggy. It's not fair to call it trash, but it's kind of trash. But I can say that because it's my own stream. And I still had people coming by and watching me. Even if, you know, every time I got a raid and the alert would just like freeze my whole computer, people would still come and hang out, which that means more to me than having the best setup and nobody hanging out.
That's what I said to somebody earlier as well, is that usually they come for the person, not the content.
Yeah.
I mean, like you just said, I'd rather have like 10, 20 solid people that I know are there for me, opposed to like 1,000 random people that I don't know. Like, when you go into a big streamer's chat, and I think this is where, like, once you get to that level where you can sit at a computer all day and just stream and make money, you know, or do this as a career choice. Thank you, Francis. Like, I feel like
bye, Papa.
as smaller streamers and content creators, like, I feel like we are very critical of ourselves, but when you get to that level, maybe like 10,000 people in a chat, say you're really good at like Apex and you're a pro player, or COD, and then you get all these people coming into your stream, I feel like that is probably when your mental health is really gonna suffer. Because you have that like I mean, I try to hold myself to my own expectations, but 10,000 people watching you like every day. Imagine trying to like live up to that expectation like mentally.
Yeah. Then you just have a shit day and you're like, I don't really want to do this no more.
Yeah. Or like, you know, when you feel like you're playing trash and you still have people watching you and you're like, well, I feel like I need to end this because I'm frustrated, but I don't want to let anybody down because they're watching me. So it's like you're pushing yourself past your limit that, you know, that you kind of create because you know yourself, hopefully by now.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, you know, let's say you get 10,000 people watching you, and then tomorrow you switch games to maybe you were playing Apex and then you wanted to try out Valorant or something. And then you only have 5,000 people watching you. You're not going to want to stream that if you really equate yourself to your numbers, which is kind of hard.
It was literally like the other day I did a split stream. So I literally did Resident Evil and then I got to a different difficult part and I was like, okay, I'm going to switch over to Deus Ex. And my numbers went from like 12 to literally 3. And I found myself sort of sitting there and be like, maybe I shouldn't have stopped streaming Resident Evil. But I was like, at this point, what's the point of streaming something if you're not enjoying it? You're just thinking about numbers.
Yeah.
So I literally caught myself and I was like, no, don't do that, because that's when shit gets rough and I don't need that right now.
Yeah. And sometimes you gotta stream what you want to do, you know?
Yeah.
If you think that Resident Evil is pissing you off right now and you feel like if you keep going, you're gonna rage at somebody, then switching a game to Deus Ex where you're just like, this is much more chill for me. Like, that's a good thing to do, because you don't want to be, you know, when somebody comes in and you're raging, you know, your first impression on a person is going to be where you're pissed.
You're losing.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
I mean, I like typically stream COD, and my God, the times that game has pushed me over the edge. I cannot play anymore. I just end the stream. I'm just like, no.
I've witnessed so many moments where you're just like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'll always like end the stream and I'll thank people for whatever's gone on, like people being there, any like subs, anything of that nature. But I'll get the fuck out. I'm raiding now. Goodbye.
Yeah.
This game is gonna make me snap a controller in half in a minute, so I'm not.
There have very few times where I have literally had someone be like, "You were scary on stream."
Scary? Never.
Yeah. So that's the when part, because I do have a lot of like internalized anger sometimes, and like playing games I don't really like take it seriously.
Yeah.
But I want to say that there have been times where I have been, I mean, for me, I have varied levels of mad. But I've been pissed to the point where people are like, "You're not usually like this." One of them, incidentally, was Goose Game.
Oh my lord.
Oh god.
Don't ask me why I was so pissed.
I understand.
And then one most recently was because I ended up doing like an 11-hour stream, and there was this really dumb quest in Breath of the Wild where I literally was so mad. Like, I was like, I'm gonna reach the next checkpoint and be done with this quest, and I'm done. Like, and people were like, there were a couple of people where they were like, "You were kind of scary on those points," and I'm like, sorry. Like, I'm
Girls
not
gotta do what a girl's
usually
gotta do.
exactly. I'm not usually like angry on stream because even when I am a little bit annoyed at something, like I usually smile it off because it's not that big of a deal for me.
Mm.
So it's different when I do get actually pissed at a game where I'm just like, this fucking sucks.
That's why I stopped playing
Mm.
Overwatch on stream. I've said this a million times. I've told this story a million times.
Yeah.
Overwatch is toxic.
That game has made me do some terrible, terrible things. It's the only game that's ever made me break a controller. Like, I slammed the controller face down and the thumbstick
I
just went-
remember that. I
just
remember
horrible.
that too.
It was
I remember that.
Lord.
I've never broken a controller in my life. Accidentally, intentionally, mainly because I had to pay for my own controller and that was really expensive.
Yeah.
But I can understand because Overwatch can get pretty insane. And the only time I played Overwatch was with Jazzy on stream, and that was the only reason I played Overwatch was because it was with Jazzy on stream. But anything that makes me mad like that, like I don't play it on stream.
So,
It's just
Yeah.
something like for me.
random question before we go back to the mental health line of questions. What would it take, like numbers wise, for you to say fuck it and like quit everything, quit your job, quit any schooling that you're going through? Like, what numbers on stream would you have to get to before you say fuck it to everything and then you decide to focus on that and do it as a career? Anyone who streams in chat, let me know right now what numbers would you have to hit before you say fuck it all.
I don't know. I feel like because I need to be doing something else outside of streaming, like to keep my mental health at bay. Because as soon as I stop streaming, it's literally like it snaps me back into reality. And I don't know. I feel I couldn't just do streaming full time and not have something at least on the side to keep me
that
sort of
actually like
grounded.
segues into the next bit that I was going to talk about in like day-to-day life. But Leah, what would it take for you before we go to that part?
Personally, there wouldn't be anything. And I've had this talk with myself. Because of the fact that streaming, you're at the mercy of other people. With your numbers, with your revenue, everything. You're at the mercy of people's generosities.
Mm.
I don't think I can solely rely on that. And plus, like, when I do longer streams, I get really exhausted the next days. Like, I want to be able to take a moment and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go outside. You know what? I'm gonna go to the mall. Or, you know, when I did have a job, it was kind of pulling me in to focus on something else other than streaming. Because I feel like if I focus only on streaming and make it my only job, my only like resource, you get to kind of blur the lines of your self-worth and tie it to your streaming numbers. And I can't do that to myself. As much as I would love to make it like a big old career, I don't think I could drop everything for any specific number at this moment, at least.
So obviously, Shroud and Ninja, they didn't know.
Oh.
But they didn't know they were gonna land on their feet in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
But they have definitely proved that if you're smart, you can make a fucking fortune and never have to come back. They could just leave and never come back right now. If I was Ninja, 30 million, I'd be like, nah.
Well, they've literally made their nest egg off of just video games.
So,
and as nice as that sounds, like it's not going to happen for everyone.
Even if someone tomorrow, and you knew they were right, and you knew it was the God's honest truth, said to you, you keep streaming for the next 2 years, you'll make 30 million. would you still go to work the next day? Be honest. For 30 million biggies, you'd be out of
Yes.
streaming. You'd go to
Yeah.
work the next day.
You want to know why?
I feel like
it
I
doesn't
would and I
mean-
wouldn't.
It doesn't mean I'll live in the next 2 years.
Mm.
So for me, I've gone through being very focused on the future, and kind of have stopped looking at the day-to-day things. For me personally, I would still go to work because it doesn't mean I'm gonna live through the 2 years to get that 30 mil. But again,
Yeah, that's a good
that's just
point.
me because I've gone through my own journey where I didn't think I thought too much about the future that I neglected myself in the present, and that made me feel like there wasn't going to be a tomorrow. So that's kind of where I'm coming from personally.
What if I changed the question and said you would get that 2 mil in increments, like over time, enough to live on? Would you do it then? Then you don't have like bills and stuff to worry about.
Then I won't go to work tomorrow.
You're like,
I'm like, well, if I could live off of that, I wouldn't go to work tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah.
That way is an easier answer than the other one.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
So.
What about you, Fozzie? What's your
Yeah.
number where you're just like, do it
Fuck it all.
forever? Yeah.
Well, I've actually looked at the numbers.
Is that £10?
If you, I think I read up that if you was to have, I think it's like 500 viewers at like, I think it's like $3.50 per like 100 ads.
Mhm.
Or per like $3.50 per 100 people that see an ad, which is actually like pennies, to be honest, when you think
Absolutely
about it.
pennies. Yeah.
For me, if I was to go to like 2,000 viewers, then I would probably say fuck it. Yeah, I would never have another job again. But I would be.
That's fair.
I would be smart, and any money that I made for it, like from that, I would be putting somewhere else. Like I wouldn't be putting it all into streaming. Like if you look at bigger content creators, they've always got like other stuff going on the side. So for like smaller streamers like us, that other thing is a 9 to 5. Like you have that, you work through the day, and then you grow the stream or the brand
Yeah.
on the side of that. That is your side project essentially. But for them, like streaming is their 9 to 5, and then they have other things, whether they buy property or they get involved in other businesses or buy like stocks in stuff.
Well, it's just making smart investments, isn't it?
So if I was at like 2,000 viewers and I was making the money from that, that's when I would probably say, fuck it, I'm not getting another job. I'd start investing in other stuff as well.
Yeah, that's pretty smart too, though, because that shows that you have thought about it a lot.
For me, it's more like I started this as a hobby. Like I just started playing from my Xbox, just a headset, like no camera, nothing. We've all been there.
Yup.
I'm still there.
And then when I got to a point where I was like, I think I could do something with this, that's when I started thinking like, all right, maybe it could be a career path at this point. Like, but you have to be honest with yourself. Like sat at maybe like 10 to 20 viewers, and that's fluctuating every time you stream. It's not logical to just say, or it's not healthy to just say, oh, I'm just going to leave my job, do this full time, because I mean,
not if you
realistically,
can help.
Comes and goes, like everything fleets.
Like financially,
not if you can help
hold...
it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like you might be able to make rent this month through streaming, but maybe next month you don't.
Yeah.
And you can't put yourself in the position where you're like, this is my only job because I chose it to be my only job, because I left my job. It's different
Yeah.
right now with the whole world ending thing, where everybody's kind of most people are without a job. So what else can you do?
I mean, you always see like these, and they're like what I call miracle stories or horror stories, because people believe them. Like, oh, I left my job when I was 21 and streamed 10 hours a day, and now I have 40,000 viewers. It's like, you're one in a million, dude. Like I said this in my YouTube video, you're one in a million. Like, it's a dangerous mentality to be teaching people that can happen, because you just got lucky.
Because then it's just going to be everyone's expectation.
Plus, like, they started in a different time.
Exactly.
You know, when not a lot of people were doing the Twitch thing or the YouTube content in that. Exactly. Yeah. But now, since it was popular, now everybody wants to do that. And now, as a small streamer, vlogger, YouTuber, if you're doing the same thing as what other people are doing, you're not going to be seeing much progress. Which is kind of poopy. But
then you also find yourself watching other people's progress, and you're like, well, why isn't, I started before them, why isn't it at the same level or even more? Which just then again just instantly like instills that toxic mentality of, why am I not better than them?
And that the answer to that is what you said before, that the reason you're not better than them is because you're too busy watching what they're doing and not
exactly
at yourself.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I've learned. Like, anyone pisses me off, I just leave them now. I'm like, you know what, I will just go and keep making YouTube videos. I'll keep streaming. You do you. Yeah. And eventually my hard work will pay off and you'll be stuck at however many viewers. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'll shit on you from the top of the mountain, don't worry, it's fine.
You could blame it on gravity at that point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
yeah. I mean,
on my level.
I mean, honestly, like, what? My setup is on the floor, you know? Like,
I'm not even streaming from my own right now.
Floor gang.
Yeah.
I'm sat in my girlfriend's pink chair.
Yeah, I know. You've literally, like, stolen Jazzy's chair for the past, like, year.
I have half an unpainted wall behind me.
My own chair is downstairs. I could have built it before the stream, but I'm just lazy.
Fair.
It arrived like the other day. There.
It's just, when you focus on other people and how, like, it's good to sometimes, kind of look at what other people are doing and innovate. But if you're looking at other people and just focusing on, like, why am I not doing better than this person? Why, all of that, which sometimes it's hard to do. Sometimes you look at it and you're like, shit, I do more than that. And why can't I get the same? But if you spend more time doing that than focusing on your own stream and upping your whatever it is you want and getting yourself to the level you want to be at, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say next is, with us talking like about a 9 to 5 and not like day-to-day general life, like, have you ever had a time where one affects the other? Like, streaming affects your like real life, or your real life affects your streaming?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, there's been both for me personally. Like, constant, like, for me, I feel like I constantly have to be doing something when it comes to like anything content related, whether I'm on Twitter or Instagram or editing a YouTube video. If I'm not streaming, I feel like I always have to be doing something to be like keeping up to date.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is actually, when you're like a smaller creator and you're trying to get traffic coming through your stream or on your YouTube videos, that is actually one of the worst mentalities to be stuck in. Like, I've spoke about this so many times, where people actually use each other to a point where it's like disgusting to try and like build themselves up, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel like that for me is like one of the biggest mental kicks in the teeth. It's not my numbers or anything. It's when you think someone was like a friend, or you were trying to help.
It's not even that though. It's like it's you sort of whenever you need help after you've helped them, and they're like, nah,
they leave you.
Yep.
They don't want to repay the favor.
Mhm.
That's
I've been in a couple of streams where somebody who is fairly new to the community of that streamer has literally been like, hey, I know you're streaming on, I don't know, Tuesday. Can you raid my significant other? Because they're trying to get to 50 and get affiliate.
I'd rather someone ask me outright like that.
Yes.
I have people that do it to me really slyly, like people that I call close friends, where they always go live right as I'm about to finish because they know what hours I stream.
Oh.
And I'm like, you out of
you sneaky snake.
Out of principle, I won't do it. I'll just go give it to someone random just to piss them off. Like, you're not fucking having a, you know?
Yeah, when I find a raid person, I try to, at least, unless I already know somebody I want to raid to because I've never raided them before or I haven't raided them in months, I usually don't even put their name. No. I just say what they're playing and leave it up to chat. What do you guys want to see?
Yeah.
Do you want to see, Apex? Do you want to see The Last of Us? Do you want to see music? Do you want to see crafting? And whatever you choose, that's where we go to. Yeah. So, and yeah, it just drives me crazy when someone you don't really know that well and you think is going to be like, you're going to be a great person in this community. Like, you're going to be a great part in this community. And then they just like...
Yeah. I mean, like, while we're talking about mental health, it's like the snaky people that annoy me the most. Like, if I have a shit stream, say, like, my numbers... Some streams, no fronting, I average like a max of 5 viewers, and then now I'm sat at 22. If I'm on that 5 viewer stream, I don't complain, I don't cry, I just carry on playing my game. I try and get people to engage where I can by asking like open-ended questions. Yeah. If the chat doesn't come through, I'm not gonna cry about that. I'm not angry. I'm not in a mood about it. It's just the snaky people that bother me the most. Out of everyone.
Yeah.
It definitely takes a hit on you because you think that they're much better people than they are. And it kind of, like, for me, sometimes it's like, I should have known, which is not a good mentality to have because, like, I couldn't have known, really. They presented themselves in a way where I thought one thing about them, but in true, like, they're not that kind of person. But it still kind of hits you like, oh, I should have known. I didn't, like, I could have stopped this. But it's like, but I couldn't have. And yet I still think that way. And that's what takes a hit on my mental health personally, where I'm like, getting that anxiety where you replay every single thing and you're like, no, I could have done this. And then you're like, but it already happened. But you're like, but if this had happened, this is what I should have done. And it's like, but it already happened. You know? I've gone
and
through
that's
a
it.
lot
You
of
can
that
spend too much time like fixating on something that you can't change at that point. That's very like, again, I hate to say IRL, when you're streaming, that is like real life. But just to like differentiate the two, like,
yeah, of course,
it's very easy to do that on both sides. Like when something bad happens, whether it be at work or with your partner or whatever else. Like if you have an argument with someone and they give you like a verbal slapping, when you're in the shower, you can be stood there thinking of all the shit things you could have said to them to like slap them back.
And it could be like 3 months later, and you're still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
I had this thing happen to me when I worked at the bank. Like this was years ago. We got robbed. We got robbed at
Jesus.
gunpoint,
Shit.
and by 2 people, and they robbed all of us, the whole branch. Usually when you get robbed at a bank, it's like one-on-one.
Ah, Jesus.
You know, you get like a little Jesus Christ. You know, you get a slip of an note, and then whatever. This was the whole branch, and we had one customer in, and they put a gun to his head, and you're frozen in fear in that moment. But for the longest time, I would dream about it and replay it over and over again and think of what I should have done, what could have happened if this happened. But it's like, but it's already done. You know, it's already happened. It's this is what happened. And, you know, it's hard to let go, and that fuels my anxiety, where I'm like, oh, I could have fucking done this. I could have done that. I could have just not given them, you know, but it's hard to kind of be like, okay, stop. Like, this is hitting you and your self, like, mental health. Like, you need to stop. Because as much as I know I need to stop, it doesn't stop it. You know? So that's, and since even then, I've been trying to be like, okay, I know this is the things I should have done, things it should have gone this way, but it didn't. And I need to accept the fact that it didn't and move forward based on what happened. And I have anxiety, so sometimes that doesn't happen. But I try to minimize the effects that has on me and my mental health by just being like, okay, these are the facts, this is what happened.
Basically,
Let's just keep
get
going.
away. Get away from it as quick as you
Yeah.
can when it comes back around.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's actually like really nice that you said that. Like, I've been dealing with the exact same situation because I got into a really bad car crash at the start of the year, and for so long now I keep talking to like my therapist, and I'm like, I can't stop thinking, because it was a 60-mile-per-hour road and we were going 40, and I keep thinking like, what would happen if we were doing like the speed limit that we were supposed to be doing. And just hearing you say that, I'm like, yeah, like I need to stop. It's so difficult though to just sort of take yourself out of that mindset. And I keep saying to like my therapist, I keep putting myself back in the car, and I can't stop thinking like, what if we were doing 60? Like, we would not be having this conversation right now. It's mad. But yeah,
I've definitely
it's really nice.
gone through that, where and it's even like, logically I know what I need to stop this and I need to just keep going, but you can't always make yourself be logical. So
well, it's a brain chemistry thing. Like, as soon as the anxiety kicks in, you don't see logic, you just see like this like, just, what's the fucking word, like it's just all foggy.
It's all foggy, and you just keep replaying it over and over, and it's the only thing you see. It's the only thing you see, and you can't move past it because you feel.
I remember
like
having like exactly. I remember having a conversation after, like, because I was in the car with my best friend and her mum when it happened, and I remember having a conversation afterwards where they were both just like, oh, you know, we're so grateful to still be alive, we're so thankful, like, we got to be grateful for life. And I'm sat here with like all my mental disorders and sort of like knowing that I don't feel the same way, and I beat myself up for so long where I was just like, why do I not feel more grateful for being alive when every single day I just want to die? And it's just
it's like when everybody echoes it too, you're like, yeah, now I feel worse because I should be thinking the same way they do, but I don't.
Exactly.
You know, like I
Yeah.
should be grateful. I understand that I should be grateful that I'm alive and I lived through that, but I don't feel that. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you feel worse for not feeling everything. But
Mhm.
yeah.
When you say worse, do you mean you feel like? I know you said you feel bad that you don't feel the same way as them, but sometimes do you feel like angry at them for feeling that way?
I think when like literally the day after we had the crash, um, I felt so much anger, but then like with my mental disorder, so I actually have EUPD, which is emotionally unstable personality disorder. So my anger doesn't sit at like a normal level. It instantly goes from 0 to 100, and then I just see blinding rage. And I was trying to like keep myself from that sort of that level, but it was more internalized. So literally when I got home, because we were actually on holiday when it happened, to the Isle of Wight of all places. And as soon as we got home, I literally just beat myself up so much for it. And yeah, it was awful. I
It's
hurt myself more after the crash that hurt me already.
Mhm.
it's horrible when your mind like constantly goes like back to that as well. Like for me, I had
Mm.
maybe like 3 or 4 incidents as a kid where my mum was with like a violent partner, and I was only like 3 or 4, but my mum, like to this day, still cannot believe that I remember that stuff. She's like, "Nah, you weren't old
Mm.
enough." But I'm
Mhm.
like, not so much anymore. Like I don't see it in, like or envision it anymore. But when I was a teenager, like obviously you have like hormones constantly going through you, and uh, said guy is out of the equation. When I was like 6 or 7, trigger warning here. The guy actually took his own life in the
Oh
house
fuck.
where we
Yeah.
lived. Luckily, I didn't see that part, but I saw him being like violent towards my mum and stuff. And when I was like a
Mm.
teenager, like 15, 16, I just kept seeing it, thinking to myself, like, if I saw that guy now, even though I know he's gone and he's like off the face of the earth, I would
Yeah.
fucking smash that guy's face in. Like,
Yeah.
when you're a kid, you don't have like any way to defend yourself or anyone around you,
Mhm.
and then when you're like you're between like teenager and adult male, and like your ego and like your hormones are just in control. Like all I could think about was like, even though I hate violence and I'd seen my mum go through it, all I wanted to do was just see that guy once. Like it's all I thought about for
Mm.
about 3 years of my
Yeah.
life. And thankfully now, like I'm away from that. I'm just like, nah, I don't even want to think about it. Like that guy's gone. My mum's with a
Yeah.
guy that makes her happy. She's like married now. So
Mhm.
I just try, if I even think about it, I just put it to one side, like in a box in my mind. I'm like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
do something else and not deal with that
Yeah.
now, because thinking about it more, like we said earlier, you can't change it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking this the other day. So this guy was like after my dad. So my mum's
Mhm.
partner, like after my dad. And the other day, me and my dad had a falling out when I was like 15.
Mhm.
Basically, me and him ended up having a fight. So I punched him, and we haven't spoke ever since. But the other day, I was thinking like I resented him well before then, well before that fight,
Mm.
Mhm.
for not sticking up for my mum, even though he knew that stuff was going on. Like
Mm.
he didn't even put his foot in the
Yeah.
door, and that's what pisses
Yeah.
me off more. Not about my argument with him, but the fact that he didn't help at all, or it just
Yeah.
turned a blind eye.
Mm.
So if I ever saw my dad now, I think me and him would be having it out. Like I don't know if he still
Mm.
lives at his old address, but there are so many times I just think I want to go and talk to him because it really pisses me off that he didn't step in.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the hard thing too, because everything since then has like the argument that you had with your dad like boiled over all of the resentment you had before that.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
everything. And that's kind of tough because he knew what was happening and didn't.
It's only recently as well that I started thinking about that. That my dad like had to know that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he was still coming to the
And
house.
it's just turning the blind eye. That's the kicker.
Yeah, that's it. And I actually resent him more for that than the argument than me and him had.
Yeah. And that's the tough part too. Because you, as a kid, you can't, as you said, you can't do anything to protect anybody.
Exactly.
But somebody who you think is a capable adult could have.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
you still feel that, you know? Like, somebody who could have helped didn't. And that kills you more than, you know, not being able to help yourself. Because you knew at a time when you were 3 or 4, you couldn't. You literally couldn't. You know? And that kind of sucks.
It's, like I said, it's only like the last maybe 2-3 months I thought about that. Because my youngest sister, she's actually like being in contact with my dad. And basically I just thought, I hate you. Like, with every ounce of my being, I despise you. And then that thought like popped in my head, just out of nowhere, randomly. Just that one thought, like, you could have done something, but you opted not to. So I was like, never again. I like my youngest sister. She was like, "Oh, if Dad died, would you go to his funeral?" I'm like, "Nope, not a chance."
Yeah.
Like, he's a stranger to me. I do not care. I would not go.
Yeah.
Oh, this got deep fast.
I mean, yeah. What time?
We knew it was gonna.
That's the whole point. Exactly.
Yeah. I've had to go through therapy. I mean, and I'm very pro therapy. Mainly because I know how much it's helped me. When I felt like, you know, everything was closing in and everything hurt and I could not feel my proper feelings, like I didn't remember how it felt to be happy, and it just felt empty, and you just woke up, did what you needed to do, come back home and be like
unfulfilled.
Cool. Cool, I'm just gonna do this again tomorrow and the day after. And you know, when you have a day off and you have these grand plans like, oh, I'm gonna clean, and then you're just like, no
energy or motivation to do that.
Yeah, when I went through that and I found my therapist that I connected with really well and helped me go through stuff, like, and I even brought up things that I have never told any living being.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to have a therapist that actually was not like judgy, or, you know, like some therapists, even though they shouldn't put their personal biases in there, they do.
Yeah.
I found a therapist that was very, very helpful, and he was very kind, and he even there were some things that went on when I was a kid with my mom and I, and he kind of helps me kind of forgive myself for still hanging on to it. It's not that I'm still hanging on to it as a vendetta or anything like that, but it was holding me back from anything, because my mom's not going to change. She's going to be who she's going to be, but I can change.
Yeah.
And I can change how the things she says and how the things she has done and will do affects me. I can You know, I can do all of these things, and it's been hard. It's hard because it is a sore subject for me, you know, like my mom's kind of like the only parent I've ever known. And there's some things she says that where I'm like, man, I wish sometimes I had a different parent. But you have what you have, you know? Like, one year we got into a very bad argument, and she flat out told me she wished she had never given birth to me. And when you hear that, that hurts.
It's like a truck.
That fucking hurts. And it still hurts. Even saying it now.
Yeah.
But like, what can I do? You know, like, taking myself out of the equation, if I ended up doing that, you know, wouldn't really help anything. You know, because she's already given birth to me. It's already done. But I can change how it makes me feel, how that argument has made me feel about myself, and how I choose to think about it differently and be like, okay, she might wish she had never given birth to me, but you know what? I can prove her wrong. You know, I
do
can
it out of
do
spite. Fuck it.
exactly, like, not even so much like angry spite, but like, watch me, you know?
Yeah.
You're gonna regret saying that.
Like
And
Tony Stark in Iron Man when he sends all it's just like
hell yeah.
Like, that's, I literally love Iron Man so much, but and that has helped me a lot more talking to my therapist about it, and he's like, it's already been said, but you could turn that around. You could make her, you know, like, through what you do with your life, you could make her regret ever saying that. And that's funny to me because I know for a fact my mom's never going to regret saying that. Because now if I end up being like successful, whatever successful means, because that's all relative.
It's relative, yeah.
She's going to take...
Oh, God.
Oh, it's frozen.
I think Leah lagged out. Give it a minute, see if she fixes it. Yeah, she lagged out.
Leah.
She lagged out and it sent the cameras all weird.
I froze, didn't I?
You did freeze.
Are you back?
There it is! I'm back!
You're back, yay.
I'm gonna try and fix the cameras, one sec.
I'm gonna put my other sock on.
Leah's disconnected, I think. I'll try full screen in a moment. There we go, it's fixed it.
Oh look, Leah's fuzzy now.
Yay! I'm always... Remember? It's supposed to be me the entire 3 things.
Jake, I don't know if you was here earlier. Chat literally broke the whole computer. Like, I don't know if you was here for that, but Leah, go on. Sorry, we missed some of that because...
what did you hear me last say?
You were saying that even if you did change it, you don't think your mum would ever regret saying that, is what you said.
Yes,
success is subjective.
Yeah, and because if I was ever successful, she would take all the credit. She'd be like, I raised such a great daughter. And be like, yes, Mom, you did all this yourself. Yes, I know. But, you know, I already know that. But it is one of the driving forces for me. Where I'm like, yeah, fucking watch me be better, you know?
I remember, like, so in regards to, like, mental health, while we're talking about parents and, like, mental health when it comes to streaming, I remember maybe like a year ago, me and Jazz had like an argument, so I ended up going back to my parents' house. And I remember like talking to my mum about streaming. She didn't really get it or what it was. Leah just disconnected again. She's coming back, I think. There we go. She's
There
back.
we go.
Was that me? Sorry.
No, you're all good. I was talking to my mum about like
ruining the podcast.
streaming and stuff, and she had no idea
Oh,
what
it's messed
it was.
up the.
It's fixed
Oh,
on
there we
my
go.
screen, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, it's all back.
She had like no idea like how it worked, what it was, what you do. Like she just thought you just what like the wording she said to me was like, "Oh, do you just show people how to play games?" I was like, "No, they watch you play the game and then you engage with the people."
That's such a parent thing to say.
Oh my god.
And I was telling her about it anyways. We had like an hour-long conversation about it. And she seemed like really interested in it. I showed her like friend streams and stuff. She seemed like really enthusiastic. And then I remember after like an hour of me really enthusiastic talking about it, she just goes, "But you'll never do anything with it." Just like shat on me. And
Wow.
I just looked at her and I went, "You know what? Fuck you." And now every time, like I think I'm failing, that's what I think of. I'm like, nope. One
Yeah,
day,
and you just
you know,
just prove her wrong.
this sounds really spiteful, but if I ever had enough money to pay off my parents' mortgage or buy them a house or whatever, just for that one comment, I would
You're
not.
like, nope.
No, I would not pay for a house. It's spiteful, but I would make my mum get on her knees and beg me to buy a house. I would be like, you know what? Fuck you. Like, legit, there's just, like, to build my confidence up like that and actually make me think she has faith that I could do something,
Yeah.
and then just shit on me after an
Yeah.
hour, I was just like, nah, if I ever do anything with this and get any money, you're not having a penny. And I
Yeah.
still think that to this
Yeah.
day, like, I have a good relationship with my mum, but never.
Yeah.
I don't even know. She has everything she wants. She has been able to afford, because of the fact that she has a good job. I'm the one that's always struggling. So it's, I mean, I would try to give her something, but I know she'll just get mad. Because that's just how my mom is, you know. I freaking bought her, you know, for Mother's Day, I got her a freaking nice ass
That made me so sad.
chopping board. And man, that fucking hurt. That thing was like
That shit was clean.
$100. That thing was $100. And I have never been able to afford that comfortably to like give my mom something nice. And she was like, "Yeah, just put it downstairs in the basement." And I'm like, okay.
I would have kept
But-
it. I'd have been like, you ungrateful piece of
Innit?
shit.
I'd have been like,
kept
well,
it for
I'll
my
use
own
it
kitchen.
then.
Dude, legit. Like in like, I don't know, a year or so, I'd be like, "Can I borrow that chopping board that I totally gave you for Mother's Day? That's downstairs. That's just been like sitting there."
I wouldn't even ask.
Never
Just
bring
take
it back, yeah.
Yeah, never
Exactly.
bring it back. So it's just that kind of thing, you know. And I've accepted. Okay, maybe not so much accepted, but I know that's who my mom is at this point,
I've got like that with my own mother. Like,
right?
I just
Like-
know what she's like. I don't expect anything more or anything less anymore. Like she do.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk when like things come like once in a while, but I haven't even told her I've lost my job. That's how much we talk.
Because she's just gonna judge you anyway.
Yeah, and she's probably just gonna carry on doing her own thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like she's too caught up in her
Yeah.
own bullshit. So I'm just like, I'm not. What's the point?
And like, I love my mom. I do. And it has taken me a long while to accept the things she does, the things she says, and not think of anything extra that she could be thinking. Because we talk, but we don't talk intimately. I distinctly remember when I told her I had depression just before my last attempt. She literally told me that if you had done anything to anybody, just apologize.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how depression works.
I have heard that too many times.
So
That's a fucking kicker, that one.
Yep. And I literally, and that was like me reaching out and actually letting her into how my life is. And it was like I threw her the ball and she just spiked it away from me.
She popped it with a needle. She was like, nope.
She was like, no. which is fine, but like now it's fine for me to be more closed off with that kind of feelings. And we've never had a relationship where we talk about our feelings. I grew up getting yelled at if I cried.
Yeah.
You know, and because I didn't have anything to cry about. But
that was actually my dad's favourite line. If you don't stop
Really?
crying, I'll
Literally,
give you something to cry
give you
about.
Oh my
something to
god,
cry
this
about,
is like
right?
this is just unearthing
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah.
shit now. Yeah.
And I get it because like there are kids who will do it as a way to like manipulate their parents. I get it. But when I am actually sad about something, I want to cry, you know,
Yeah.
and that was always a thing where, you know, I would hide crying because there was no reason for me to cry, which is
Oh, I think we're frozen again. I hope you guys are happy with that train. You broke the fucking stream. Like, oh, it looks good. I'm like, you broke the stream. Leah, you're all good. If you just pop back in when it's fixed, it'll just fix the cameras.
okay.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
you're back. There we go.
Back.
Freaking internet. But I was saying like this is why I was in therapy. Like working through all of that. And it's not for me to change my mom and how she shows her love for me or whatever. It's how to know who I am and know if what somebody is saying about me is wrong. Because I know who I am. So if she says I'm a deadbeat, like, am I though? Like, do I know myself to be a lazy deadbeat? If I don't think so, then she can call me that all she wants.
Again, that's like, not subjective. What's the word I'm looking for? Like Bill Gates, say Bill Gates, or anyone who has a large amount of money, anyone who's living in like a social housing situation, living day by day, is probably a deadbeat to Bill Gates. So relative, that's the word I was looking for.
Relative, yes.
Yeah.
Relative.
So the only standards really anyone should be holding themselves to is their own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then I think it's a bit difficult when your own standards are so piss poor. It's just like trying to figure out like healthy standards for yourself is so difficult when you're also dealing with mental health, because then it's like it's so clouded. Your judgment is just completely thrown off. You're like, what is a healthy sort of what is a healthy standard for me? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to do.
And that's what I personally had to go through with my therapist, where I'm like, you know, these are being said about me, and it's said by the person I love the most because it's my mom. And I know she loves me. I know she loves me. She just has a dumb way to show it.
A weird way of showing it. Yeah.
Yes. It's her way of showing that she loves me. Which I get it, but at the same time, it's hurting me. Because if the person that I love the most and who should ideally love me the most is telling me I am this, then maybe I am that. You know,
Mhm.
then maybe I am trash. Then maybe I am lazy. But my therapist said that if you do things and you see yourself as one way, that's who you are. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you spend the most time with yourself.
Mhm.
And anybody else's view of you is only little snippets in your own life. And even if my mom calls me lazy, and even if she calls me that I'm like useless, most of the time it doesn't affect me. Because
Yeah.
I know when I'm at my job, I work my fucking ass off. I am balls to the wall. I know if I have something that I can help with for somebody, I'm doing it. And I'm not
Yeah.
doing it to be like, oh, maybe they'll help me, or like, you know, like anything like that. I'm doing it because that's
Mm.
who I am. So I know it's taken a while, but I know who I am.
Yeah.
And sometimes I forget who I am, but
I think that's
it
human though.
yeah, but it's making me kind of want to refocus on me and all of
Mm.
that shenanigans, you know.
Yeah.
And I talk with my hands a lot, so
It's all good.
yeah. But and I hate saying this because it's so cliche. And like even when my therapist told me to do it, I was like, I don't want to.
Nah.
Journaling.
Mm.
Journaling has helped me, and I don't even want to say that it helps me, but it did.
Oh God, nope. Why is my mum trying to call me? Never mind.
She's like, I heard you that shit you just said about me. Next thing you know,
Oh, we
she
ain't even
comes
got
in the
into
room.
that yet.
Yeah, but
Clip round the ear.
yeah, it's helped me. It's helped me kind of get my thoughts out on paper.
Oh,
And
fuck off.
fuck off, Mom.
Sorry about that.
Heard you was talking shit.
But yeah, so like I hate it. I hate journaling because I always feel like I have to make it like be proper, and like I want it to be like a novel. But like
Chill out,
and
Bridget
or like
Jones.
yeah. You know, I'm like nobody's gonna fucking read it. Even I'm not gonna read this. This is like, you know what I mean? So I've tried to kind of write in a way that I don't expect anybody to read this. And it's not even a diary. I don't do it every day. But when I feel a lot of feelings and everything's overwhelming,
Yeah.
I let it out because sometimes it helps. And the paper's not going to judge me, you know?
Mm.
It's
See,
just going to take
I
what
don't
I
know if
do.
it's like the same. I don't like write anything down about my feelings, but when it comes to like ideas, I can't put it on a word document, or I can't type it in a notepad. If I have an idea for something, whether it be a YouTube video or like a stream idea, I have to write it on a scrap piece of paper and like have that idea there. I can't do it digital. It drives me insane.
Just a toilet paper piece.
I have to have it there clear in front of me, like physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be like, oh cool, now I can like journal on my phone. It's like, no, I fucking hate it. Like, I don't.
It's just not the same.
It's not the same. And I really enjoy, well, like one of my hobbies is collecting fountain pens, and that's kind of gotten me into writing a lot more, is to kind of spend time and play with my pens and colors and all of that. So, you know, it's kind of helps me get over the fact where I'm just like, wow, I fucking hate journaling.
Yeah.
So, but I like it. It's helped me a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
Throw my
like
shit.
my coping mechanisms aren't as healthy as that.
Oh, trust me, not all of mine
But
are healthy.
none of mine are healthy. But it's like coming back to the whole parents thing. Like there was a moment a few years back. Trigger warning. I had a suicide attempt when I was in uni, and when because my parents knew absolutely nothing about my mental health. They didn't know that like I was self-harming, I was ripping my hair out, like I had really bad trichotillomania, which I still do. But there was I think it was I had because I was on 24/7 suicide watch in uni, and I had security guards come to my room every single night, and at some points during the year it was like 2 times a night, and I tried to kill myself one of the nights. And the lady that took care of me, Jill, she's a real one, real one. But she gave me the option. She was either like, you tell your parents, or I call them at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell them that their daughter just tried to kill herself. Who would you rather them hear it from? So I actually ended up writing my parents a letter, which they still have, sort of laying everything out for them and sort of informing them of what had happened and what I was also doing to myself. And then they say it every once in a while, but my mum is like the biggest culprit of it. But she always turns around at some points, especially when I'm at my lowest, which is like when you don't want anything to be said to you that's just going to trigger you. And she's just like, oh, we knew. And I was just like, well, if you knew, then why the
did
fuck
you let
didn't
that
you say
happen?
anything? Why didn't you? Yeah, exactly. And especially because like I'm like I don't even want to say anything, but I'm still like in recovery. I'm still going through those same things. I'm still, I'm in therapy. I'm in intensive therapy to try and help me sort of release anger in different ways and sadness in different ways, because like that line of why are you crying, you have nothing to cry about, like that is something that, like, me and my siblings have heard so much, and it's a notion of I don't know how to cry healthily. I only know until it gets to a point where I physically cannot breathe. And I actually had a catatonic episode last Saturday, and I lost 12 hours of my life. I don't know what happened during those 12 hours. I got rushed into hospital, non-responsive, and they said it's because you just completely snapped. Your mental state just went, and I literally do not remember anything. And I was like, if it's got to that point where I don't know how to physically or even emotionally let myself feel anything at a healthy level, then how am I supposed to sort of progress into like an actual recovery sort of state?
Yeah.
So you have to like overcome that overloading first before you can go to the next stage, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, like you have all of the feelings built up until now, like you need to get rid of all of that before you can kind of start fresh in a way. Like
but even with like my mental condition, it's near impossible. Like it's either one thing or the other. It's so polarizing. There's no like I feel happy or I feel sad. It's like I feel extreme sadness or anger. Like I don't remember what being happy feels like, and that's really sad to say.
I've been there, and I'm just relearning how it feels, and it's weird.
Do you feel like you can jump from one to the other across a day? Like
I can do it in seconds.
Like it's easy to say, oh well, one day you feel real sad, then 3 days you're fine, then you have another like depressive day. I have days where I can be like dancing around the house, singing, whatever, like I'll be in the best mood possible, and then one thing, just I fucking snap. Like I am on the edge for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've done that.
It's just the cup overflowing.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
or
That last little drop just
just
that's it.
did it. It just did it.
Yeah.
You know.
It can be
And-
like the
and
dumbest thing as well for me.
Yeah, it could be like somebody just didn't
Mm.
put the freaking spoon where it was supposed to be.
That's pretty much it with me.
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
like for the rest of the day, you're just like pissed, and you're just like angry at everything and everyone.
And in that moment,
Mhm.
that can lead to arguments as well, because in that moment, you take it out on the person
Anybody.
nearest,
Yeah.
which for me is
Yeah.
Jazz. So that leads to an argument for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mhm.
like,
And then Fozzie sleeps in the couch.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Or elsewhere.
Or elsewhere.
In the
Yeah,
kennel, in the kennel outside.
Yeah.
The dog
It's a
gets to take
crafting-
your spot on the
It's a
bed.
crafting project. You're just like, hey, Jazzy, what are you making? Your future house.
Little tin shed in the back of the garden.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
so warm.
It is. This light is cooking me.
I'm
I
too
feel like
fat
a rotisserie
for this.
chicken.
I can't say anything. My AC is like at 64.
We don't have AC in the UK.
I know. That's like what sucks about like the UK. Like you guys are so unused to hot weather that you guys don't AC. And I'm so sorry.
We have
I'm-
heaters.
Yeah, you have heater because it's just so wet and cold.
Sorry, I was trying not to disturb the conversation.
No, it's fine.
I was saying thank
The
you.
conversation
for the
has been disturbed.
Wow, how rude.
Yeah, how dare I thank you for thank someone for following the stream.
God
Yeah,
damn
how
it.
dare.
I mean, the guys
How
who gave me money, I told them to go fuck themselves. So
Yeah,
imagine what I'm going to do
exactly,
for
so-
followers.
Fuck off, give me subs.
Savannah, what's good? Welcome to the
Yeah,
stream.
it's been an uphill road. It's funny that
Oh, Leah's gone
Oh.
again.
Baby, come back to
nope, I'm broken again. Nope,
Oh, you're
I'm
back.
here. I'm here. Yeah, I promise I didn't break anything. I didn't touch anything. So it's funny because my best friend who lives in the UK, who's known me for like 6-7 years now, she knows that December and April are my worst months. And if you're depressed, you've got your bad months.
Mhm.
Like you have those months where you don't know why you feel bad, and then you realize, oh shit, it's December. No wonder I feel shit.
Hit me with that SAD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seasonal
exactly.
affective, yeah. I definitely have that. That is
That's
one
half
thing for
of
me.
it for me. Half of it is seasonal affective, and half of it is December has so much pressure to like monetarily for me. A lot of monetarily pressure to, give your people gifts. Also, my grandmother passed away in December. And she's one of those people that I can honestly say loved me regardless. She was my stepdad's mom, so she didn't have to love me, but she did.
I feel like everyone needs a person like that in their life.
Yeah. So when she passed away, it hit me so hard. And it still does. Talking about her still kind of hurts me. But so December is a bad month for me. April is a bad month for me because it's my birthday and I have an existential crisis within that month every single year. And the last suicide attempt I did was in April. So those 2 months are like my worst months. But my best friend Charlie actually said to me this past January when we were, thinking about the new year where we thought 2020 was our year. She was like, I'm really surprised that you have come a long way because you continued to stream in December, where usually in December you you pull back from everybody
Mm.
and you kind of wall yourself up except for a very few people. So I think that even though streaming has kind of given me a different mental health effect, it has
Yeah.
also helped me in certain ways. Like in April, I streamed, for my birthday, and I kind of started easing back into streaming at regular time frames. Probably, I don't even know what regular is. But those 2 months have actually been, I mean, they've been a struggle. This whole like year has been a struggle for me personally with everything outside of streaming. So streaming is like the one thing I'm not that stressed about. Like, hard air quotes there, because obviously when I drop frames or when I freeze, that takes a toll on me.
Yeah.
Because I want my stream to be as good as possible.
That was something I was actually going to mention. Sorry to interrupt. It's not just like
No, it's fine.
numbers with streaming that can send your mind insane. If you have like especially for me, tech issues heat me like nothing else. Like if I have lag,
Yep.
or my PC just decides to take a shit, like it did maybe like an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that situation was funny, but dear lord, like once like it mounts up as well. I figure with tech issues, they all seem to mount up one after the other, and then
Yeah.
once you finally, like after the hour or two you've spent fixing it, you don't want to stream anymore.
No, because you're tired. You're like, well, if this is
What's
gonna
the
happen
point?
on stream, then it's gonna take me another hour to fix it. What's the point? Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
It can put you in a shit. If like for me as well, I'm scheduled. It can ruin the whole week for me. Like if I have one bad stream, the next time I'm like, Friday rolls around, I'm like, do I really want to stream?
Yeah.
Like, can I be bothered to deal with that shit in case it happens again? You know?
Yeah.
I haven't streamed since last Friday. And I was gonna stream on Monday, but I had a test in class, and it was just so draining, and I had a headache, and I missed class because of my headache, and it was just such a draining day where I literally was like, and this is probably the worst thing to say, but I can't even bother to be put on a smile to welcome everybody on stream. And I think that if I feel like I'm putting on a fake face for everybody, it's not fair for people watching me to deal with that. So
because you know yourself, it's a facade. Yeah, like
even if nobody knows, I do. And if I'm in that kind of place where I think that I'm gonna have to put on a smile for stream, I don't want to.
It's just not worth it.
It's I don't want to, because it's not fair for anybody. It's gonna exhaust me more, because that's not how I feel. And then you'll have people be like, oh, well, you're usually high energy, like what's wrong today? Like, but I don't want to talk about it. It's one of those things where you're just like, can I be bothered right now?
That was kind of what made me like very apprehensive about setting like a set schedule, because I knew what I wanted to do, which was like stream 3 nights a week, one YouTube video, and until I get to a point where I can do this as a career, that's going to be the formula. Like that's what I'll stick to. But I was kind of worried that like with my like mental health not always being up to scratch, I would not be able to stick to a schedule at all. Like, I was worried. Like, even now, like, yeah, I end up streaming on the days that I'm supposed to, but I'm always 2 or 3 hours late. Just because I've just been laid in bed, like, I cannot be fucking bothered today, but
Don't want to do this.
I still get out of bed and force myself to stream, even if I'm 3 hours late, just because.
Yeah.
I want.
You're not the only one, trust me.
Like, I want to succeed and do this for a living, not like just be here like all the time. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to look in 5 years' time and be at the same point I'm at now. And like, as a human being, you're the only people that can change that for yourself. You know, I've been saying this in my YouTube videos that the only thing that's going to put you anywhere is hard work, right? If you like, there's no secret formula. I spoke about it earlier with Mixer and Trovo and all the new stuff. Like, just changing platforms not gonna magically bring people to your stream, you know. Also,
exactly.
Savannah said she streams straight from PS4. She doesn't have a PC. If you freeze or want to change game, it closes the whole stream down. It's really disheartening. We was actually speaking about that earlier, where like we were streaming from Xbox. I actually had so many issues with the Twitch app on Xbox. Like,
it's trash.
Yeah,
garbage.
It's completely trash.
It sucks, but sometimes you have to work with what you've got.
And that's exactly it. Like, I stream straight from PlayStation 4. I only have like, this is literally the first time I'm on on camera on Twitch. I never stream with like a camera. I always stream with just my headset and my PlayStation 4 because I don't have the money to get a PC set up. I literally have to work with what I've got. I've literally come from like a low income council estate family who
that's the same for me and Jazz. Like, everything we have,
who have had to like
built it up gradually. So like buying pieces at a time. So like, you buy the chair, then next month when you've got enough, you buy the desk. Then you buy one PC part, and you just gradually put it together like this puzzle. So,
but literally, like, my PS4 was a gift for my 21st birthday, and then after that, like, I started buying secondhand games and just building up that collection. I felt like that was more important than anything. And then obviously I got a cheap PC like headset, which is actually the same one I use now. I bought a new one, but it's shitter than my old one. Worked that one out.
Yeah. Oof.
My stream was like scuffed for like months and months and months. And now I finally have one where I'm like so excited because I can do like animated overlays without my PC trying to kill itself. Like, literally, I'm just like in awe being able to have that like level up production wise because of the fact that like it has been slow, you know? Like, I worked with what I got for the longest time, and even now my internet is shit.
See, for me as well, like, production value, there's only so far you can go with it before it gets silly, in my opinion.
Before it just becomes overkill.
I think Leah's kind of lagged out again. She'll come back
Leah!
in a moment. She will be back in un momento.
Leah, come back.
Un momento. We actually haven't even spoke about... I was literally a chav and had my first
she's
shout
back.
Before I took my GCSEs, trying to stream to make friends as you don't have any booby mental health at the same time. The one thing I will say is...
Just back. My arse is falling asleep.
With Twitch, use it to make friends. Pick a very small circle to start with. Like 5 to 6 people that you trust. The minute you know someone's a backstabber, bin them, get rid. Don't deal with that shit.
Yep. Get out.
Yeah.
But
I don't even remember like how I came across half of the people that I follow now, and like I actually watch their streams because I think Rain, he gave me like a few people to follow when I first started like getting into streaming, which was 2 years ago now, but been doing it a year technically. And I think it was you, Fozzie, Jazzy, Adventurous April, um, I think FMX Riot, and it was like that very, very small like group, and then it
Core
just got
people.
bigger and bigger and bigger, and now
Yep.
literally like there's so many people that
You can't
I've
keep
actually
up with
met
them all.
through Twitch.
Now,
Honestly.
do you ever feel? Because I feel this a lot. I feel this, and it kind of takes a toll on my mental health. Do you ever feel bad that you can't watch everybody at the same time? And that sometimes you can really just lurk and you can't even type in that you're lurking because you know that you don't have the capability at the moment to even just message. And you just like leave
And
lurks and don't
like,
tell people.
It's like the anxiety also if they ask you a question, you're like, oh shit, I have to respond now.
Yeah. And and I do this too and it's so poopy and I really shouldn't. It's like when somebody says I'm going for a lurk, they're gonna have dinner. I'm like, oh, thanks for the lurk. What are you eating? Like, dude, like in my head, I'm like, why would you ask a question when they're literally trying to leave? Like, you know? And that kind of drives me a little bit too. Like, okay, maybe I just won't say that I'm gonna lurk because I don't have like the just what's that word? Like I'm at a loss for the word where it's not that I don't want to talk, it's like right now I just can't. Like I can't handle.
You're just physically not capable to do so.
Yeah, like I just cannot handle a conversation right now. But I'm still showing your support, and then you're like, it makes you feel bad when you can't leave a lurk for everybody, you know, and you can't watch everybody, and that takes a toll on my fucking.
See, actually, I was having a conversation.
Go on. You're all right. I can say my bit.
I was having a conversation in someone's stream the other day. I can't remember who it was now. But we were talking about sort of like really low numbers after putting in so much work. And I'd rather have, again, coming back to the conversation we were having earlier, like a very small amount of people talking in chat rather than like having all these lurkers. And then like what you just said, Leah, about how sometimes it's just not physically, like it's not capable. Like, but it's difficult to sort of like weigh up thinking at like a streamer and then thinking like a normal human being, like actually putting yourself into those, like into other people's shoes and actually putting yourself into your own shoes as well. But
and I think that's why it takes a toll on my mental health, because I'm like, ideally as a streamer, I would love it if somebody talked in chat. But as a viewer and as somebody who's stressed the fuck out, can't always talk, you know? But I appreciate like people who lurk because it's still, you know, somebody watching me. But it's still like, so I get both sides and it like kills me on the inside.
So what I was going to say is that for maybe the first 6-7 months when I was streaming, basically, I didn't mean to catch you out there. I'm sorry. I was trying to type and talk at the same time.
I know.
Basically,
I heard the clicky click.
So for like 6-7 months while I was unemployed and just doing Twitch, like I didn't make YouTube videos or anything at this point, I was very much the same. I wanted to be in everyone's chat all of the time. I would leave lurks up. I'd let people know I'm leaving lurks. And now I've got to a point where I don't feel bad. If I don't enjoy you as a person or your content, you're not going to see me in your stream. It's just like, here's what I'm going to say. If you're going to go in someone's chat, like now, right, you're talking in the chat, Savannah. I'm going off what you said here, but don't be a number, be a person. So if you go in someone's chat and then you just put lurk, and then you go on to the next tab of the other person you think you're supporting. And then
you're just sort of like moving through.
You're just
people.
you're going through streams. Whereas if you go into a stream, people get busy, right? That's fine. If you have to lurk, it's fine. People get busy. We have our own lives, but spend 30 minutes or an hour talking in someone's chat, and they're more likely to remember your name than the guy that comes in and just puts the lurk command in and fucks off and never comes back.
Yeah.
It's been smart, right? Like I said earlier, I don't know if you was here, but I go from anywhere between 5 and 20 viewers. And when I have the 5 viewer streams, I don't cry because I know the 20 viewer stream will probably happen the next time. People are just busy. It just goes up and down. Wolf, fuck you in chat.
I literally saw that.
It's like, lurk, you're a dick, dude. But yeah, like, just don't. Like, people are trying to pad their numbers out, right, when they do that stuff.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, just be. Will it follow or lurk unless you enjoy the content because you want people? Exactly, and. Like, I did the same. Like, I just jumped from chat to chat, just lurk command, lurk command, lurk command.
Yeah.
And people don't. Like, you're not going to put a name to a face that way, right?
Yeah. You're not going to remember them at all.
I'm giving all my YouTube content out for free here, by the way. I've said all this in, like, 3 different videos. So, you can have this stuff for free.
No one needs to watch it now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Link to the YouTube in the about.
I don't know if I actually have a panel for that. Not sure.
Get with it,
Are
man.
you kidding
Come
me?
on.
You don't have a panel for it?
I have a command, if that helps.
Disgusting.
There
It
you
actually
go.
works. I added the bot back in. Now you can't troll me with the alerts.
Break the alerts again.
Anyways,
Yeah.
something we haven't talked about so far is burnout. I feel like we
Hydrating?
kind of
About
just...
hydrating.
You mean the very first topic that we were going to talk about?
So,
Yeah, exactly, right?
what I was going to say is, this is actually a really good segue from like what I was saying. When I was out of work, unemployed, I would be on Twitch all day. Every chat just, non-stop. It was unhealthy. And what people don't realise is if you want to do streaming as a career, and there is no I'm no expert. I've not done it. I have not accomplished success. But Wolf, stop trying to break the alerts. But I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's not
Here,
about
take
you
my
at this
money.
point,
Thank you for that
Ozzy.
shout
It's
out,
about
Silence.
the alerts.
Like I was
It's
saying,
about breaking the alerts.
I'm no expert in this. I haven't, in my eyes, succeeded yet. Got where I want to be. But
Break my shit, I'll break your
yeah,
face.
I'm reading Jazzy's.
I think you actually burn out. You have more chance of burning out from what you do offline, trying to grow as a streamer, than you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you was actually talking about like social media earlier, or we was going to talk about social media. Like what you do offline is way more draining than what you do on a stream, in my opinion. Like, yeah, reading chat, playing your game, or whatever you're doing, i.e. here, like a podcast, is much, like, yeah, that's taking a lot of brain power, and you're having to, like, for lack of a better word, put your brain's resources towards it. My privates, thank you for that gift sub, dude. Wolf, thank you for the gift sub. Both nuts. But, like I was saying, what you do offline, like, away from your stream, is much more tiring than... Like constantly feeling, I was saying this earlier, like constantly having to feel like you're on Instagram or Twitter or talking in your Discord. Like the only Discord I talk in my own, like, is my own, basically, because just trying to keep up with them all is a joke. You're never gonna do it.
That's the thing, like when I first started streaming, I tried my best and I was just like, okay, Discord is obviously the way to go. But then after a while I was like, I can't. Like, there's so many different, like, it's mad. And the notifications were
Yeah,
a little bit.
It's funny because a couple of streams ago, Reptar actually got mad at me well, jokingly mad. Not sure. I think he got mad at me. But he because I said something like, "Oh, show me your dinner," and they were like, "Oh, where should I show you?" I'm like, "Oh, just post it in Duo's Discord." Like, I literally told them to go to somebody else's Discord to post it instead of my own, because I literally like I can't deal with so many servers and
It's
so
just like
many.
spreading yourself too thin.
Yes, and yes. And it's just so funny because Reptar was like, why are you like promoting someone else's Discord instead of your own? I was like, 'cause
Just like, why not?
I'm like, I'm there too. And he's
I
just
think
like,
I got kicked out of a couple because I was like, nope, not talking. I'm sorry.
oh no,
It's too much.
I don't kick out like anybody if they don't talk in my Discord. Like, whatever, I don't care. But it's just like, it's funny because I was like, oh, my Discord's dead. Just go to Duos. And he's like, that's not how you make it not dead.
I'm gonna say it right now. If you have like your own Discord and you can grow that, definitely do that. But what I would say is that if you're in like 40 Discords, like Reptar just said, and you have them all unmuted, you're a fucking psychopath. Like, who wants their phone?
God, I can't even do it
like
with the 4.
Like, all my Discords muted. Like, I don't even check the messages. I've just got like 40 unread messages in every Discord. Like, people saw my Discord the other night and they were triggered. Like, legit triggered.
Most of the time, I'm in so many Discords. So many. Too many. And I feel bad joining more. But like, I want to support my friends, but also I'm like, but I'm probably not gonna talk as much as you think I'm gonna. Because it's just so much. Like, 300 unreads. Dear God.
When we was hosting the Warzone tournament, my Discord opened.
Hi, Meg.
And basically, they all saw my 300 Discord. This was in my own Discord, by the way. I think.
I think.
I don't even know which Discord it was. They just saw my 300 alerts, and they were like, "Please get rid of them now." I was like, "I can't even be bothered. Fuck no, I'm just leaving them."
Seeing so many stresses me out, actually. So every day I go and mark them all as red. Unless something is like tagged in my name, and I do scroll to see. If it's something about me, then yes. Wait, new stuff? Oh, the thing. Okay, sorry.
So many new people and old faces I haven't seen. D-Mod, hello. Meg, welcome on in. Reptar, I think it's your first time here, so welcome on in.
Meg's a great egg. She's a crafter, and she's one of my favorite people. You're gonna start tagging me in every message. No, Meg, no.
Oh man.
No, please.
I have 14,326 unread messages. Ugh.
Danny Okos is new.
I'm just gonna I'm glitching out.
Meg, thank you for the follow.
That hurt me. Jesus, Reptar.
Welcome back, Francis. Talking about burnout, though.
Hi, Papa.
Yeah, I actually have a friend of mine right now that's going through burnout. I've 1.5. One of them's halfway there. And
I thought you was gonna say 1.5 people. I was gonna say, how does that work?
Well, 1.5 people. So one person fully on burnout and one halfway to burnout.
I feel that.
One of my friends actually messaged me last week and was like, I think I'm gonna quit streaming, and I think I'm gonna just take or take a break. I'm like, listen, you stream every day for 10 to 12 hours a day.
People do get sick of seeing you.
And it's not even just that. It's not a lot of this is where it ties into numbers. So it kind of hits them in a way because like not a lot of people come come to hang out, and it's kind of discouraging for them, because they try so hard and they do switch it up and things like that, and they can't get the views that they want or anything like that. And it's not like what they want is 200 views right now when I'm only pulling single digits. It's maybe 10, 15 every stream, and usually they end up within the 3 to 7 range.
Yeah.
And I get it, it's discouraging, especially when you're doing 10, 12-hour days every single day. And they were just and this is where it kind of hurts me a little bit, because when we were having this conversation, it kind of brought up that it's different for me because I'm a girl.
They brought that up, or you brought that up?
They brought that up. So, I literally was listen.
How'd you put two and two together?
Because I'm getting the views because I'm a girl.
Love that. Wow.
So, because I do 12-hour streams. I don't plan for them. But I just play my game and then talk to chat, and next thing you know, it's 12 hours in, and I'm like, but I'm literally trying to help them be maybe you need to talk and check out more communities, and be friends with more communities, be more out there. And we want names. So and then they were like, well, it's different for you because you're a girl. People will watch you because you're a girl. And I was like, what?
It just doesn't work like that.
And then they were like, well, I know I'm being sexist. And I'm like, please
then
hold.
Why?
Please, I'm like, that I am a part of a lot of communities, right? I work hard to maintain as many friendships as I have, and they happen to show up when I stream sometimes. Sometimes they don't, and that's fine, because people are busy, people are streaming, people are doing the things they do. But because of the fact that I am everywhere, I don't know how that happens, but I'm everywhere. People come to see me sometimes, and that was my suggestion. I'm like, listen, what you just said hurt me because I work my freaking ass off to...
Yeah, it's not just the fact that you're a girl that you've got your success.
Do I look like I'm, I don't know, a quote-unquote titty streamer, which I don't even like saying that, because if titty streamers can do it, go for them. But that's just not my avenue.
Emma, what happened?
Putting my phone on charge.
Hi, I'm Fozzie now.
Jono said, could you pull your mic away a little?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
I'm Fozzie now.
Okay.
Said, yeah, it swapped all the camera.
I rule this kingdom.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Okay, now we're fixed.
Because he has a pretty mouth, and oh god, no, it swapped us round again. I'm Emma now.
Oh, sorry, it's because I also don't have my fuzzy thing on it.
Now you're all good.
That's okay. I like being Fozzie.
I'm asthmatic, man. Leave me alone.
There we go. Oh, we're both Fozzie.
Swapped
now we're not. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so I literally was
You got the short straw.
What you said hurts me because of the fact that I do work hard to maintain my friendships and to make friends. And I don't do it so they show up on my stream. I do it because I like people. Probably. I like people from afar. I don't like them in my personal space. But you know what I mean? I get that you're saying this because you're frustrated and you're dealing with the burnout right now. But also understand that because I understand burnout, I literally told you 3 months ago, take days off and do shorter streams. Because you feel like this is all you have day in and day out. And if you don't see it paying off, what else do you have? You know, and that is going to contribute to the burnout, the feeling of you don't have anything else. You know, and
yeah,
a lot of people, and I'm going to drop a Fozzy style truth bomb here. Like, if you're streaming 12 hours a day, then you're not doing anything offline. You're not building a brand anywhere else, right?
Oh, Leah's frozen again.
You're just
no, she's not.
You're just trying to build a brand on Twitch that has the worst discoverability out of all any of the streaming platforms, whether it be YouTube, not Mixer anymore. Like, Twitch has no discoverability. Like, Savannah, who's in the chat now, is probably one of the first person that has actually told me they came from the suggested streamer section on the homepage of Discord. Everyone else from elsewhere, whether it be like Discord, my YouTube, wherever else, you know.
yeah.
You can't just stream on Twitch 12 hours a day and expect results.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I do so much shit posting on Twitter. Like, I'm surprised people still come see me. Because you can 100%
We're
get my
here for
personality
the shit posting,
up.
though.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's the shit posting that draws you in.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, like, when I'm not streaming, I'm, you know, sometimes talking to people in Discord. Sometimes. I can't promise 100%. But, you know, shit posting on Twitter, or, you know, going to other people's channels and, like, hanging out and connecting with people. I'm not just being like, oh, okay, well, I'm not streaming, I'm not doing anything. You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes me mad when people say that I'm doing well relative to them because I'm a girl.
I mean, I actually posted on Twitter the other
bullshit.
day. Again, I think we already said this earlier, but I'm going to go back to it, is that success for every person is relative, right? So that person who can't get past 5 viewers is wondering why, like, their friend is hitting 20. But then the person who's hitting 20 is wondering why they can't get up to the next person, like 50. You know, they see a friend ahead of them. So it's all relative. I mean, I was actually reading something earlier, and it was basically, if 1% of your following, so say I have 500 followers, if 1% of those people are watching my stream, then you're doing better than you think. Because you look at, if you look at a bigger streamer who has, say, 100, maybe, let's say Tim the Tapman, I think he's got about 5 million followers, and he's averaging like 30k. He's struggling to even hit 10% of his followers. So Twitch, it's all, you've just got to think in different ways. People always say to me, I mean, I've got friends, I won't say their names, but all I hear is just them asking me how I got to, like, where I'm at, and I'm like, it's relative. Like, people move at different paces, right? You can't. And if you're constantly looking at somebody else's numbers, that makes it even worse. Like, you're only just putting a burden on yourself.
And you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot to make your brand and to show people the creation that you're contending, the content that you're creating.
Like Duo just said,
you know what I mean?
Like,
creation.
He streamed for 5-6 years, and from what I can see, he's like getting up to like partner numbers
streams
now. Like, he's averaging like anywhere from like 60 to 90, maybe in the hundreds sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Like,
stay.
If I was to look at Duo's numbers and be like, fuck, how is he doing that? Like, if he hadn't have come said to me, oh, I've been streaming 6 or 7 years,
Oh yeah.
You don't know how long that person's been going for unless you look deeper into it,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm trying to get my phone to stay standing.
I know.
Anyone who knows me knows that
Stacking everything.
if you come and ask me a question about streaming, I will always try and give you the honest answer as possible. Whether it be like technology, if you ask me how your stream looks, I will be brutally honest. I'll be like, your stream looks dog shit, but I'll help you fix it. That's just the way I am.
See, that's the thing. It's again, like, it's a give and take. Like, if you're helping someone, then obviously you'd like the help back if you're in need of it. But a lot of people, like, well, not a lot of people, but some people take advantage of like the instant.
Get silence.
What?
That's why I don't ask.
Oh,
The thing is, I don't mind helping anybody. I could have 6 or 7 messages a day, and I will reply to all of them. It's when people take, like you said, Emma, when people take advantage, then you're like, you start.
Yeah.
You basically, exactly, Francis, like, there's only so many times I'm going to tell you something, and I'm not the best at being empathetic or wording things, and I know that. There's only so many times I'm going to drill information into a person that I'm like is asking me for help before I say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not fucking helping you. You're an idiot. Or I send them to Jazz. Yeah, I'll just send them Jazz's way. I'm like, I've tried. You can try Jazz. She might help you because I don't know. It's
Jazz
just
will
the way
tell
I
you the
am.
exact same thing.
Like,
Yeah. And I think too, like, if you're gonna ask for help, don't be defensive.
yeah, exactly.
You have to take it as it comes. Yeah, definitely.
Like, obviously, like, if I come to Fozzie and be like, yo, can you just take a look at my recent streams? Like, what do you think? What am I doing wrong? And Fozzie just goes, wow, your fucking stream is shit, And I'd be like, no, how dare you say that? It's the best stream ever. It's like, then why did I even go to Fozzie to ask for help? Like be like, okay, fair. It looks like shit because my alerts literally freeze my computer. So how can I, move forward from that? Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes you can't. I mean, I've had instances where people ask me to help them with their stream. I'm no expert by any means. Like, I know the inside. Send it over, but I'm not paying. I'm just saying.
Oh, fuck.
The weird old farmer. It's the flannel. Silence. When I put on the flannel.
Hell yeah. If you want any toe picks, I got you.
Toe picks? Wait, you kept your feet?
What?
You kept your legs? As soon as you hit affiliate, they cut you from the waist down.
Yeah,
you know that, right?
They took my wings.
Okay, alright. Well, they cut my legs off, so here we are.
Well, shit. That's why you're not wearing pants.
That's why I never wear pants. Fun fact.
Pants streamers.
Right now, I'm wearing jogging bottoms, but any other time, I want everyone to know this. I'm sat in my boxer shorts when I'm streaming. Like, there's just
we don't expect any different.
There's just no other way. Mm-hmm. Like, British summer's just.
I expect you to just be completely bottomless at this point.
Like, legit, like
just nothing.
British summer's some next level shit. Like, your legs are stuck to the chair by the end of the stream. You're trying to get up. You're like, you just hear the skin peeling.
I hate that. Where you hear like the slow
yep
of like your skin.
Then you look down and there's 2 wet patches where your legs were. So gross.
And then you're like, I'm a disgusting human being, but you do it again the next day.
True. You sit in the chair and you don't clean it from the day before.
Yeah, then you're like, God, I really gotta put like a fan down here, so I don't stick to the chair, but you never get it.
See, you never buy that fan. The problem for me is the microphone will just pick it up, and I don't even want to deal with fixing that issue.
Jazzy just said you better clean my fucking chair.
That's only what I do when I'm on stream. She doesn't know when she's out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh Lord, don't take the black light in there.
When she's out and Fozzie's in her chair, he's not even wearing pants or boxers.
This podcast went real weird. Like, we went
Innit?
like
Mental
straight
health
down with the
pants.
mental stuff, talking about traumatic experiences, and now we're talking about how we stream on our
Cause even no pants.
through the roof.
I mean, did it really go downhill or did it go uphill?
Exactly.
It went uphill. Definitely went uphill.
See?
Fuck yeah.
See?
I think we
You
combed
don't
over
regret this
burnout.
at all.
I don't. I actually don't. I feel like self-care.
What?
Have we spoke about
No.
that?
I was gonna ask Emma if you've ever experienced the burnout.
The burnout.
The burnout.
I think I did at one point, like maybe late last year. I think the
Mhm.
seasonal depression didn't help. But yeah, I think I was talking to my brother and I was just saying like how it sort of is dragging, but I was also fresh off of a suicide attempt, so I was like, this
Yeah.
ain't helping. And yeah, I think streaming just sort of became more of a chore than anything, and I think that's when I was sort of umming and ahhing about whether I wanted to do it. But even like once a week was too much, and it was sort of feeling way too much for my mental health. It was feeling way too much for my physical health. And I decided to take a few months off, and I just kept on telling myself the longer that I'm away, like the harder it's going to be to come back. I think when I eventually did come back, I actually felt so much better for making the decision and like making an active decision, which is not something that I can often do when I'm sort of like coming out of a shitty state.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to make a sensible like decision, and making that was one of the best things I did, because now that I'm back and I'm actually being a bit more consistent with my streaming, but like I think I'm the only one here that doesn't actually have like a set schedule, simply for the fact that I don't know when I'm going to dissociate. I don't know when I'm going to do anything.
Yeah.
So I can't just sit there and be like, okay, I'm going to stream.
I have a schedule. I just ignore it.
Yeah.
It goes back to the thing
Mood.
where it's, again, exactly, where it's like it just goes back to, yeah, I'm supposed to stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but when Monday hits, when Wednesday hits, when Friday hits,
Yeah.
do I feel good enough to stream?
Yeah.
And if I don't, I don't. So,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, like I was supposed to stream on Wednesday, and it got to Wednesday, and I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I was dissociating the whole of Wednesday morning. I was just in and out of, like, I was just completely out of it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I physically cannot stream, because what if I dissociate on stream? And then, like, it's happened before, and it was like watching it back a few months later. Like, I think it was one that I actually saved. And just watching it back, and then sort of hearing where I just completely switched out and then switched back in. It was so scary, and I was like, I don't want that to ever happen on stream. Especially if like I decide to do this like face cam, like, because I instantly just completely shut down, and it's fucking terrifying for me being in the body and watching everything from like a cinema view. I always describe it as, I don't know why.
That's how some of my friends have described it too.
Yeah, and
where it's like an out of body experience, but you're watching yourself do the things, but you're not doing them.
Yeah,
and that's
like,
what they've told me.
Playing certain games like really triggers it like really badly. And because I have a safeguarding personality who instantly takes over when things get too much, and it's like from childhood trauma and stuff like that. She, like, that personality instantly switches in, and it's just like, I don't remember anything. So I could literally be, I had a situation a few years back where I was in the shower one minute, I switched out, she switched in, because I was really sort of like, I was really dealing with shit in the shower. I think I was trigger warning. I think it was right after I'd like self-harmed, and I had a really bad session, and I was cleaning my arms and everything, and the personality instantly switched out, and then sort of I came back maybe 2 hours later, and I was fully dressed. I'd blow dried my hair, and I was literally like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't, like, last time I remember I was in the shower, and I don't want that to ever happen on stream, which is why like burnout is like, if I see things getting too much, then I sort of know to pull away from something that's going to trigger me way too much, which is also why I've stopped playing a few of the games that I have, because they're just they deal with subjects that are just
I actually watched that. It's half of the reason that you said that you've stopped playing certain games, because of like, you know, it triggers you in a way where you know you're like, I just can't. It's half of the reason why I don't do sad games. I don't do games like Hell's Blade, which is very like it deals with a person with schizophrenia, I believe. Not 100% sure, but
Silence has been playing that.
And that's, I can't do that. I know for a fact I can't do that. I watched the ending to The Last of Us last night, and it hit me. And then I watched it again because I watched two different people play it, and they were paralleling like where they were. So one person played it in the afternoon, and then one person played it later at night. And even watching it the second time around, knowing what to expect, it like hit me a lot harder. And I'm like, I can't like deal with that. Like, and I didn't even play it, you know, like I was just watching, because I don't do zombies and scary games. So I don't do that.
Just personal preference.
Yeah, just intense fear. So anything like horror, scary, anything like that, especially zombies, I can't do. But like the undertones of specific stories, I can't do either sometimes, because if it's too sad, and The Last of Us is a sad game. Anybody who says otherwise, I have no idea what the hell game you're playing. But just watching, you know, characters go through their stories freaking almost broke me. Like, I was so sad that I didn't finish homework because I literally felt like I was done with today. I'm not dealing with anything. I'm not doing anything. I have zero motivation now. And now I'm just going to be a vegetable in bed and watch somebody else stream and maybe talk in their chat, because it has affected me that badly. So I get where you're coming from.
When you you get in that mood though before a stream where you start like questioning it, you want to do it. A lot of people are mentioning that in chat. Is there like any ways you drag yourself out of that? I know there's like a ritual for me where I know if I do these like 2-3 things before I turn the computer on, I know I'll be ready to stream. Like, I'll be in that mood, I'll be in that mindset. Is there anything that you do beforehand? Anyone else in chat that has like a ritual before you go live?
I fill up my water and I drink it, and then I fill it up again. And then I kind of just pace in the kitchen for a little bit. And if that kind of keeps me out of it, like out of being like, okay, this is my box and I have to stay here now. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there are friends where they're really hyped to see you go live, and sometimes talking to them kind of makes me feel a little bit better, like before stream. But there are definitely days where it does not work. But I do a couple of those things sometimes where I'm just like, you know, where you're just on the edge of not feeling that good, but you know if you do something, maybe you can pull it around.
Yeah.
And then there are days where you're just not. There is just not. Nothing
you
is
beat
happening.
on that day, yeah.
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 So if I'm on that day, like I already know, like nothing I'm gonna try and do is gonna.
The smoke alarm's going off. Be right back.
No worries. This stream is great.
My phone's about to die.
Oh my gosh. You
I've
can't
got
plug it
charging,
in?
but it doesn't seem to be. Yeah, I've got it plugged in. I've got it plugged into the laptop, but it's just not
Dear
not
me.
doing
Not
a
going in.
thing.
We're all good. Nobody's,
Dim your phone.
Nobody's,
Gucci. Yeah, actually,
nobody's
that's a
dying,
good.
we're
That's a good.
Nobody's dying?
Uh,
Okay, good.
Maybe Jazz
Oh,
when
pity.
I'm done here.
There you go. Let's dim
But
the
yeah,
phone. That's
they're
actually a good
just
shout.
Dame. There are some times where it's just not happening, definitely.
For me, usually
Yeah.
it's always like shower, smoke, tobacco. Don't ban me, Twitch. I'm not breaking the law in my own country.
The devil's lettuce.
Can't like any energy drink, like caffeine. That is it. I'm good to go. And then I will just put like my starting soon screen up. And then, like Francis said, I just do all like the going live bullshit, like Twitter, Instagram, Discord, all that stuff. You're planning to play a game? I know you've played at least part of. You think about how much you enjoy the game, get yourself psyched up for that part of the process rather than worry about the rest. I think that's definitely a good thing to do. Like, for me, that's really hard to do with a game like COD, because what you see is what you get. Like, you're just playing the
Of
same
all games.
like thing all the time. You know, it's hard to get amped up for that. But I'll go and watch like another COD streamer that's like out of their mind. Like, I'll see them just play like 1-2 good games where they're just murdering everyone. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go do that. And it never ends like that for me. I always end up dead, but it just puts me in that right mind frame that I think I'm going to do it, you know?
Yeah. Usually,
I don't think I have like a set ritual.
There are
Like hearing
sometimes
everything.
I've asked somebody specifically, like, hey, can you just come into my stream and keep me company for like the first hour or so? And then, you know, if you have time, obviously I'm not gonna be like, you have to stay here forever.
I'm gonna put a gun to your head. Come on.
Yeah. No, I'm just like, if you can, you know, if you're not doing anything for the next hour, can you just stay and talk to me and chat, you know, for a little bit? And that, you know, that helps sometimes too. Fucking Reptar. Yeah.
I actually really need to pee. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
You're not doing it now?
Not right now, no.
At this moment?
Get
Hold
the
on,
can out.
let me get the bottle. Hold on. No, I'm joking. I'm not that gross.
Cool.
You should
Jazzy.
you should get a bucket.
Get a catheter.
I don't.
Yeah.
My privates. He's instantly like, go. He's waiting to do something. He's sabotaging me somehow. I know.
You don't have your stream bucket?
He's just like, go now. I'm like, nah, dude. You're gonna sabotage me somewhere.
I'm over here drinking my giant ass bottle of water.
Hell yeah.
I've drank 2 cans of Rockstar.
Damn.
God, you must piss like battery acid, man.
I think I do.
Yeah, he probably does.
Lord.
If he doesn't even like, I feel like if you don't turn the lights on in the bathroom, Fozzie, your pee might glow in the dark.
Shrek's piss.
Yeah.
It's how I.
How you know?
You could just recan it.
It's how I'm fueled. Jesus. God's sake. We nearly killed Leah.
Got it. Made it. Just recan it. Just find the can again. Fozzie could sell it. You could. That could be part of your merch.
Fozzie's juice.
I'll be like
Fozzie's
Bella
juice.
Delphine, but with my own piss instead of bathwater.
Fozzie's.
Oh god.
Fozzie's juice.
That's
Ooh,
actually
I can't even say it. Like,
My ass is asleep, man.
I'm putting this on a t-shirt now. Yeah, Fozzie Gamer Fuel. There you go.
Fuzzy
Ugh.
cereal. Made with 100%
Disgusting.
recycled ingredients.
Oh, I don't have the chatbot turned on. Fuck.
That's too funny. That's too funny.
You gotta stay Reptar.
Right.
You
Mhm.
have to.
Yeah, we're on like the
You have
last
to say
subject
what
now. We finished
Yeah.
Burnout, I think. I think we got
Yeah, we got to Burnout.
Yeah.
so we're on the last step, I think.
We got there in the end.
Self-care. Which is also the name of a really good Mac Miller song. Just saying.
This is
Hell
my
yeah, it
self-care.
is.
This is my self-care. Finding a giant
3
3
litres
liter
of
bottle
water.
Gigantic bottle.
Nori's Wolf, have a good one, man.
Bye, Wolf.
Bye, Wolf.
I
I was
actually,
literally like, what's
I fucked
happening?
that up. I fucked that up, man. I'm
What?
sorry.
Listen, I only have 1 liter left today.
You gotta drink it all on the end of the stream.
Oh, fuck no.
Chug it.
Literally, I don't think I can. I think it's just physically impossible. It's 1/4 of you. Yes, it is. I'm short. Thank you for letting me know, Reptar.
Tiny human.
Tiny human. Honestly though, my self-care has been lately has been a fuck ton of crafting.
I thought you was gonna say a fuck ton of crack then. I was gonna say, hang on.
Crafting, crack, both a good time. You could do both at the same time.
I mean,
What you'll end up crafting, nobody'll know, but...
I just heard the crowd. I was like, oh, we're going here, are we?
No, it's
Keeps the doctor away, Reptar.
listen.
The no-no
Yeah,
snow.
exactly. Yeah, it's just a little.
Leah, I don't know if you'll know who this is, but whenever someone says crack, it reminds me of a character from Peep Show called Super Hands. It's like a very
Oh.
British comedy
No.
comedy show.
No.
So British.
He's like
Bowl cuts and everything.
Yeah, he's like an addict basically, and he goes cold turkey. And every time
That sounds
someone says crack, he's just like triggered. Like, can you not say crack? I'm trying to lay off. It's so English.
You were
It hurts.
saying crafts.
Yes, crafts. Crafts.
Cracks. Mhm.
Cracks. But yeah, so crafting, I've been cross-stitching, I've been making like little magnets, and I've been sewing, and I've been hand sewing because I don't have a machine. But like doing those have made me feel a little bit better, because like at the end of the day, like even if I feel like I'm not useful or I'm not like doing anything, I have a product at the end of the day that kind of says otherwise. Like, wow, today has just been like a day where I did nothing. But look at my progress on my cross stitch. You know, like
I did the thing.
I did it. I did it. So yeah, like actually earlier, like I picked out fabric from my little stash because I'm gonna make a little case for my Switch. Like a little
Cute.
pouch for my Switch. But yeah, I've been and I've been crafting for my crafts. Yeah, I've been crafting accessories for my craft. It's been a weird, deep journey of crafting.
Basically, that exhibit meme. Don't know if you.
Yeah.
Seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
We
Yep,
heard you like
yep.
crafting, so we got a craft for your crafts.
Yeah, exactly. I have accessories for all my crafts that I've crafted because I'm so crafty. Yeah, so it's been crafting. Definitely not taking care of myself.
I feel that.
Showering has been put in the back burner.
Big mood.
I'm just happy I took a shower before this.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too. But like I said, that's always my like go-to ritual is to shower before
Yeah.
I stream.
See, I know it, and this is what sucks about showering. I know it's gonna make me feel less trash, but I can't make myself do it when I'm not motivated to do it. But I know it's
Mhm.
gonna make me feel better. So instead, I just do crafts. I just do crafts. So
what you
it's
should
been
do is
pretty rough.
put all your, like your sewing needles and stuff in the shower where you can't reach them, and then you'll have to like reach in there, and then you're already there.
Just
like a
turn on the
bad
water before you get in
idea.
there.
That
Yeah,
seems
just
like the
remo-
worst idea.
You're in there, just remove them then, get the shower, and you're already there.
And then put them back in?
Well,
I mean-
maybe wait for it to dry off
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, but then I'd have to remember to put it back in, and I'm never gonna do that, because then it ain't gonna work, okay, guys? It's not gonna work.
No showers.
No showers. Never. I have been trying to make sure I eat once a day, though.
Once a day?
If that's my minimum, Fozzie.
Okay.
Because when I'm stressed, I don't eat. So if I force myself at least once, I'm doing better than normal. It's a hard time. It's a hard
Yeah.
time in Leah's life right now.
It's hard in these streets.
My
Yeah,
sleep
it's hard
pattern's
when it's
backwards. I mean, I have all my square meals early hours of the morning. For breakfast, I have a can of Monster. For lunch, I have a can of Monster.
Fucking hell.
For
What is
dinner,
going
I
on?
have a can of Monster.
Okay.
And then
So
maybe
for
like a
snacks-
trash.
You got troubles, put them in the past, cause you're free at last, time to have a blast. You don't know, well, we're so glad that you asked. It's the FozCast.